So we will discuss about rules of derivatives. So mas easier way to get the derivative of a function, unlike dun sa definition of derivative. So medyo mahaba yung solution. So we have some rules for derivatives. So for number 1, we have the constant rule, which is the derivative of any constant. So whether that is a negative integer or a zero or a positive integer. So if we get the derivative of that with respect to x, so we will get the answer of 0. So kung kukunin natin yung derivative ng 1, that is equal to 0. Kung kukunin din natin yung derivative ng 1,000 with respect to x, that is still 0. So any constant siya. While for our number 2, we call this as the identity rule. So we have the derivative of x with respect to x, or that is dx over dx. This is equal to 1. Or any variable siya. Kung yung ginagamit nilang variable is y, okay din. So we have derivative of y with respect to y, that is still 1. Kung derivative of a with respect to a, 1 din yun. So that is what we call the identity rule. And then yung pangatlo, we have the power rule. So ito yung power rule natin. So we have yung u dito. This is a function of x. So u raised to a certain exponent. So we get the derivative of that with respect to x. So yung exponent natin, we have to multiply that one. So magiging n, then multiply yung function of u natin. And then yung exponent niya, we have to minus that one. So deduct natin ng isa. So minus 1. But do not forget to get the derivative of this function na u. So that is du over dx. So yan yung power rule. So just bring down yung exponent, which is ito, n, multiplied by this one, u. Then yung exponent natin, minus 1 siya. So for example, meron tayong derivative. Kunin natin yung derivative ng x squared with respect to x. So yung exponent natin is 2, which is yung n dito. And yung u natin, that is the function x. So getting the derivative, so bring down yung 2. Copy yung x dyan. And then, we have 2 minus 1. So, to get the derivative of that one, so 2 minus 1 is 1. So, yung sagot would be 2x. So, ganyan yung gamitin yung power rule. Oh. So, ito naman yung du over dx niya, which is our u is x. So, that would be dx over dx, or that is dito sa identity rule siya. So this is equal to 1. Kaya yung final answer is 2x. Pero pag hindi lang 2x, so let's example. So yung example, we have x minus 1 squared natin. So, we get the derivative of that one with respect to x. So, pwede mo siyang i-expand, pero using yung power rule, so yung n natin dito, or the exponent is 2, and yung u is x minus 1. So, bring that down. So, baba natin yung exponent. So, we have 2x multiplied by x minus 1 raised to 2 minus 1. But do not forget to get the derivative of the u, which is that one. So dx. So the derivative of x is 1, and then yung derivative naman ng 0 is 0 ng 1 is 0. So yung sagot dito sa derivative of x minus 1 with respect to x would be equal to 1. So we have 2 multiplied by x minus 1. So, this is multiplied by 1. So, ganyan siya. or simplifying, that would be 2x minus 2. Yan yung sagot for this one. So, we also have some rule na ginamit na dito which we call the chain rule, pero we will discuss that later. So, for rule number 4, so we have a function with a certain coefficient. So, we can bring that out, yung coefficient natin. So, we have the constant multiplied by the derivative of the given function with respect to x. So, example for that is, kung kukunin natin yung derivative of 5x cubed. So, yan. With respect to x. So, yung coefficient dito is yung 5 or yung c. Yung 5 dyan. So, pwede natin siyang ilabas. And then, get the derivative of x cubed with respect to x. So, again, we will use yung power rule. So, bring down yung exponent. So, we have 5 multiplied by 3. Then, x raised to 3 minus 1. Then, get the derivative of x. So, yun. Dx. So, this is also 1. So, from rule number 2. So, this will be 3 times 5. That is 15x. So, 3 minus 1 squared. So, yan yung magiging sagot for that. So, for our rule number 5. So, ayan yung addition or subtraction. So, just simply distribute lang yung derivative natin. So, we have f of x plus or minus g of x. So, just distribute yung derivative. We have the derivative of f of x with respect to x. So, plus or minus the derivative of g of x with respect to x. So, ganyan lang siya. So, one example for that. So, kunin natin yung derivative of, let's say, 2x cubed. So, that is your f of x. So, minus of 3x. So, yung 3x is our g of x. So, this is with respect to x yan. So, separately, kunin natin yung derivative of each terms lang. Or each term pala. So, getting that, so we have the derivative yung 2x cubed natin. So, we have to bring out yung 2. So, power rule lang yung gagamitin natin dito sa x cubed. So, bring down yung 3. Then, x raised to 3 minus 1, or that is equal to 2. Then, so minus. Again, bring out yung 3. And then, getting the derivative of x, which is dx with respect to x. So, yan. So, this is 1. So, this is equal to, so we have 6x squared minus 3. And yan yung derivative for this example. So, next, we have product rule natin. So, we have f of x times g of x. So, getting the derivative of this, the product of these two. That would be, copy natin yung f of x, kung ano yung function of x of that. Pero we have to get the derivative of g of x. So, with respect to x. Then, plus. So, this is always plus kung nasa product rule tayo. Copy yung function g of x. Then, derivative of f of x. So, with respect to x. So, ganyan siya. How you will get the derivative of product of two functions. So, the sample for that would be, kung let's just say, we have x plus 1, then yung isa, so this is f of x. So, kunin natin yung derivative. So, yung isa is x cube plus 3. So, you can easily expand that one. Pero for the sake of the example, for our product rule, so, sabihin natin yung x plus 1, this is your f of x. Yung x cube plus 3 is your g of x. So, applying the product rule. So, copy yung f of x, which is x plus 1. Pero, we have to get the derivative of g of x with respect to x, which is ito. So, kunin natin yung derivative ng x cube plus 3. So, we have, bring down yung 3. So, we have x. So, 3 minus 1. Then, getting the derivative of 3. So, from our rule number 1, constant rule, any constant, the derivative of any constant is equal to 0. So, that is plus 0. Next, so we have ito, plus. Copy naman yung g of x, which is x cubed plus 3. But we have to get the derivative of the f of x. So, for the derivative of x, so for our rule number 2, that is the identity rule. So, dx over dx, that is equal to 1. And then, yung derivative naman ng 1, that is equal to 0. So, 1 plus 0 lang to. So, yung sagot for this problem would be x plus 1. So, ito will become 3x squared. So, plus. So, this one naman is, so 1 times x cubed plus 3 lang naman yan. So, x cubed plus 3. So, simplifying the equation. So, this will become 3x times, 3x squared times x. We have 3x cubed. So, 1 times 3x squared, that is plus 3x squared plus x cubed plus 3. So, we have x cubed dito plus 3x cubed. So, we have 4x cubed. So, plus 3x squared plus 2. And this would be the answer sa ating functions or given functions na x plus 2 times x cubed plus 3. So, that is the derivative. So, ganyan lang gamitin yung product rule natin. So, for rule number 7, we have the quotient rule. So, we have the derivative of f of x divided by g of x with respect to x. So, this would be the formula for that. So, copy lang yung g of x natin or yung function natin sa denominator. Then, get the derivative of the function ng ating numerator, which is yung f of x. So, with respect to x. So, division siya. So, this is minus. Then, you have to copy yung numerator natin, which is, that is f of x. Then, get the derivative of g of x or the denominator. So, that is derivative of g of x with respect to x. So, this is all over. Get the square of the denominator. So, that is g of x squared. So, yan yung formula ng ating quotient rule. So, if getting again yung derivative, so some example for that, so meron tayong function na g of x as, again, x plus 2 na lang. And then yung g of x natin is x squared minus x. So get the derivative of that one with respect to x. So yung ating f of x is x plus 2, and yung g of x natin is x squared plus minus x. So get the derivative of that one. So from our rule, copy lang yung g of x or yung denominator, which is x squared minus x, but we have to get the derivative of our numerator or yung f of x natin. So the derivative of x, so from our rule number 2 kanina, identity rule, so that is 1. The derivative of 2 is equal to 0. So plus 0 lang yan. So minus, so that one, copy yung numerator. So we have x plus 2. But we have to get the derivative of the denominator, which is ito. So the derivative of x squared, so using power rule, so we have 2. So bring down yung 2 natin. So x, so 2 minus 1 is 1. So kaya meron tayong 1 dito, pero hindi ko na lang isusulat. So minus derivative of x, again sa identity rule, so rule number 2, we have 1. So all over yung square ng ating denominator, which is x squared minus x squared. So simplifying, so dito, so this is also 1 times x squared minus x. So we have x squared minus x. So minus, so ito, we have x squared, ay x times 2x, we have 2x squared. So we have x times negative 1 is negative x. 2 times 2x is positive 4x. Then 2 times negative 1 is minus 2. So all over, so pwede natin i-expand to. So magiging x raised to 4 minus twice of x cubed, then plus x squared. So simplifying the numerator, so we have x minus 2x, so we will have negative x squared. So negative x minus x plus negative x minus negative x, that is 0. Then we also have minus 4x, so we have negative 4x siya. So don't forget to distribute yung negative each terms dito sa loob ng ating parenthesis. So next is minus 2. So negative 2 and then negative dito, so magiging positive 2. Yan. So all over x raised to 4 minus 2x cubed plus x squared. And ito na yung magiging sagot for the derivative of this one. So next rule, number 8. So meron tayong the derivative of 1 over u raised to n with respect to x. So yung u dito is a function of x siya. So etong formula nito is derived from the power rule, which is kung ilagay natin sa taas tong u raised to n, so magiging u raised to negative n. So using the power rule, so getting the derivative of that one, so the derivative of u raised to negative n with respect to x, so this would be equal to so bring down natin yung negative n, the exponent. So we have negative n and then u raised to negative n minus 1. So bring out yung negative dito. So we have negative n, u raised to negative 1, or just negative, pwede rin. Negative of n plus 1. So yan siya. So since meron tayong negative dito, so bring the whole itong buong to, u raised to negative n plus 1. So, ilagay natin siya sa denominator. So, this will become negative n all over u raised to n plus 1. So, do not forget yung du over dx. So, du over dx. So, ito yung formula for our rule number 9. So, na-derive siya using yung power rule natin. So, ito would be equal to negative n all over u raised to n plus 1. So, du over dx. And rule number 9, we have a radical sign siya dito. Again, so for rule number 9, this is also derived from power rule. So, kung ilagay natin itong nth root, magiging exponent ng function u natin. So, yung nth root of u, so this can be equal to u raised to 1 over n siya. So, getting the derivative of u raised to 1 over n with respect to x. So, that would be equal to, so bring down natin yung exponent, which is 1 over n. So, multiplied by yung u, which is 1 raised to 1 over n minus 1 natin. So, don't forget to get the derivative of u with respect to x. So, this is equal to 1 over n. So, ito, magiging 1 minus n all over n. So, this is du over dx. So, let's just bring out yung negative dito. So, magiging 1 over n. So, u raised to negative. So, negative n divided by negative, magiging positive siya. So, yung positive 1 natin divided by negative, so magiging minus 1. So, this is all over n. So, du over dx. So, since meron tayong negative dito, ibaba natin siya sa denominator para maging positive. So, we have n, so times u raised to n minus 1 all over n. So, dito naman sa taas, sa numerator, that would be 1 multiplied by yung du over dx natin, or that would be du over dx. So, kung gawin natin siyang radical, ito, so this would be equal to du over dx all over n, the nth root of u raised to n minus 1. So, yan yung formula for our rule number 9. So, let's copy lang. Yan. So, we have that. Okay. So, meron din tayong chain rule, which is nagamit na natin kanina nung, I think, nung nasa power rule pa lang ata tayo. So, we already used that one. So, meron, kung kukunin natin yung dy over dx, or the derivative of y with respect to x, that would be equal to dy divided by dy over du times du over dx. So, magka-cancel out lang yung du dyan, and we can get the power rule. So, some example for that is kung meron tayong kukunin na derivative of x cubed plus 4 raised to 5 siya. So, this is with respect to x. So, maglelet tayo, or gagamit tayo ng substitution. So, we have let u, so yung u dito, b, itong nasa loob ng ating parenthesis, which is x cube plus 4. So, kunin natin yung and yung y natin will become, so ito yung function natin kanina. So, substituting yung x cube plus 4 with u, so yung y natin would be equal to u raised to 5. Una, you have to get yung derivative of y with respect to u. So, ito siya. Kunin natin yung derivative ng y is equal to u raised to 5. So, that is dy over du. That is equal to, so power rule, bring down 5. U raised to 5 minus 1, that is 4. And then get the derivative of u with respect to u, that is du over du, or that is equal to 1. So, yan muna siya. Then, next, we have yung du over dx. So, yung du over dx, kukunin natin siya dito sa function na u is equal to x cubed plus 4. So, that is du over dx, or that is the derivative of u with respect to x, that is equal to, so, itong x cubed dyan, bring down yung 3 natin. So, we have 3x. So, 3 minus 1 is 2. Then, the derivative of 4, or ito pala, derivative of 4, that is equal to 0. Kaya yung du over dx natin is 3x squared. Then, multiply natin yan. Pero before we have to multiply these two, itong dy over du, gawin natin siyang function of x, where our u from kanina is x cubed plus 4. So, substitute lang natin dyan. So, we have 5 multiplied by x cubed plus 4 raised to 4. Then, getting the dy over dx, for that, just get the multiplication of these two. So, we have 5 times x cubed plus 4 raised to 4 for our dy over du. So, multiplied by yung du over dx, which is x cubed, 3x squared pala. So, we have 3x squared. So, simplifying that, so we have 3 times 5 is 15 x squared multiplied by x cubed plus 4 raised to 4. So, yan yung derivative for x cubed plus 4 raised to 5 using yung chain rule natin. So, pwede nyong i-expand to, pero medyo mahaba na yung expansion kasi raised to 5 na yan. But you can use your Pascal's triangle kung gusto ninyo. Pero yung sagot ninyo would be the same with this one kung i-expand natin tong x cubed plus 4 raised to 4. Again, using yung Pascal's triangle para mas madali lang siya. Okay, let's get some example natin dito. So, a proper example for the rules of derivative. So, we have number 1, we have to get the derivative of the function. So, we have y is equal to 5x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3x plus 4. So, kung gusto niyo muna solve for this one, so you can post this one before and then you answer this one, and pwede nyong makita if yung ginawa ninyo is correct or hindi mamaya. So, getting the derivative for this one. So, yung mga rules na ating gagamitin for example number 1 is, una, we have example number 5, which is yung addition or subtraction of the functions. Kasi makikita natin dito, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms siya. So, we have plus, minus, plus dyan. So, we can use tong rule number 5. Distributing lang naman yung derivative. And then, we also have tong rule number 4, which is, meron tayong coefficients dito. So, pwede natin siyang ilabas mamaya. So, we have 5, 2, and 3. Again, we can also use rule number 3 yung power rule natin for first term and second term. Rule number 2 sa ating third term, and then rule number 1 dito sa ating fourth term kasi constant lang naman ito. So, getting the derivative. So, we have y prime. So, yung palang derivative, we can write that as y prime or f prime of x or dy over dx. So, since ginamit niya lang naman dito is y, so pwedeng y prime or dy over dx. So, depende kung ano yung gusto nyong gamitin. So, I will just use yung y prime. So, from our rule number 4, pwede natin ilabas tong 5. So, isa-isahin natin each term yung pagkuha ng derivative. So, I have 5. And then, using power rule, so, bring down the exponent, yung 3. So, we have x. Then, we have 3 minus 1. So, this is for the first term. Pero, wag natin kalimutan i-derivative or kunin yung derivative ng x. So, we have dx over dx, or this is also equal to 1. So, plus, so yung second term natin, pwede nating ilabas yung 2. So, we have 2. Then, multiplied by yung exponent natin dito, which is 2, bring down. Then, we have x raised to 2 minus 1. Again, get the derivative of x. We have dx over dx. So, minus 3. The derivative of x from our rule number 2, that is 1. Or let's just write dx over dx. Then, plus the derivative of a constant, which is yung 4 dito, that is equal to 0. So, yung constant rule natin, number 1. So, simplifying. So, we have ito would be equal to 1. Also, this one, that is equal to 1. And ito rin, equal to 1. So, we have 5 multiplied by 3, that is 15. So, we have 3 minus 1, that is x squared. So, times 1 lang naman yan. Then, plus 2 times 2 is 4. So, we have x raised to 2 minus 1 is 1. So, meron tayong invisible na 1 dyan times 1 dito. Then, minus yung 3 multiplied by 1 or just simply 3. Then, plus 0. And ito na yung derivative ng function. Y is equal to 5x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3x plus 4. And this would be the answer. So, ganyan lang siya kadali. So, for example, number 2 naman, so we have f of x is equal to x squared plus 1 multiplied by the square root of x minus 1. So, since meron tayong multiplication dito, so, matik na nagiging product rule yan. So, yung rule number 6 natin, we also have radical dito. So, pwede rin natin gamitin yung rule number 9. And then, since meron tayong mga exponents, meron tayong mga constant, therefore, meron din yung mga power rule and yung constant rule natin dito. So, una, gamitin natin yung product rule, which is ito siya. So, let's say yung x squared plus 1 natin, this is our f of x. And then, itong square root of x minus 1, this is our g of x. So, using yung product rule, copy natin yung f of x muna. So, we have x squared plus 1. Then, kunin natin yung derivative of x minus 1 natin. So, getting the derivative of that. So, using yung rule number 9 natin, which is eto siya. D over dx all over n, then nth root of u raised to n minus 1. So, ano ba yung n natin dito? So, since square root lang naman yan, yung n natin is 2. So, getting the derivative of that one, So, get du over dx. Ano ba yung du over dx? What is the derivative of x minus 1? So, yung derivative ng x natin, that is 1. Then, yung 1 dito, the derivative of 1 is 0. Kaya, yung du over dx natin is 1. So, this is 1 all over, sabi niya dito, that is du over dx all over yung n, which is yung n natin is 2. Then, square root of u, which is x minus 1. Then, sabi niya dyan is n, or raised to n minus 1, where that is 2 minus 1, or just simply, ganyan lang siya. So, yan yung derivative for our square root of x minus 1. So, continue lang natin yung product rule. So, ito na yung natapos natin. So, plus g of x. So, copy the g of x, which is square root of x minus 1. But we have to get the derivative of f of x. So, ito. So, what is the derivative of x squared? So, bring down lang yung 2. Then, x raised to 2 minus 1, or just simply 1 lang ito. But, the derivative of 1 here is 0 kasi constant lang siya. So, yan na yung derivative of x squared plus 1 natin. So, simplify lang natin to. So, we will get x squared plus 1 all over 2 x minus 1, square root of x minus 1. So, we have plus 2x multiplied by x minus 1. So, pwede na itong sagot ninyo, pero kung gusto niyo pang i-simplify furthermore, so, get the least common denominator. So, dito meron tayong over 1. So, ang least common denominator nila, or LCD, is 2 square root of x minus 1. So 2 square root of x minus 1 multiplied by the whole of this rational expression, itong first term natin, that would be equal to x squared plus 1. Then, dito naman is plus 2x multiplied by the x square root of x minus 1 multiplied by yung least common denominator nila, which is 2 square root of x minus 1. So, this is all over yung LCD, which is 2 square root of x minus 1. So, this would be equal to, so kung getting the product of this second term, so magiging x squared plus 1, so plus, so we have 2x times 2, that is 4x, so multiplied by, so pag kunin natin yung product ng square root of x minus 1 and square root of x minus 1, so that would be x square root of x minus 1 raised to 2, or just simply that is x minus 1. So this is all over 2 square root of x minus 1. Yan. So, hindi pa yan tapos. So, we have equals to x squared plus 1. So, plus. So, distributing 4x sa loob ng parenthesis, we have 4x squared and minus 4x all over 2 the square root of x minus 1. So, we have x squared plus 4x, that is 5x squared. So, minus 4x plus 1 all over 2 square root of x minus 1. So, pwede na to. Or kung gusto nyo pang mag-rationalize, okay lang din naman. So, just multiply lang ng square root of x minus 1. to both numerator and denominator kung gusto nyo mag-rationalization. So, you can continue that one already. Pero, this could be an acceptable answer already. So, yan yung sagot to get the derivative of x squared plus 1 multiplied by the square root of x minus 1. Okay, so example number 3. So, we have the function y is equal to x squared plus 1 all over square root of x minus 1. So, we will use yung rule number 7, which is the quotient rule. So, yun yung pinaka-main na rule na gagamitin. And then again, we will use yung rule number 9, yung para sa radical. Meron din tayong mga power rule dyan. At saka constant rule. And for that, so ito, so yung numerator natin, this is f of x. Yung denominator natin, that is g of x natin. So, getting the derivative, so this is dy over dx. So, getting the derivative with respect to x. So, dito we have to copy yung g of x natin or yung denominator. So, we have the square root of x minus 1. Then, we get the derivative. So, multiplied by the derivative of our numerator na x squared plus 2. So, this is 2x. So, power rule lang yung gamit. So, 2 minus 1, kaya 1 lang yan. And then, derivative of 1 is 0. So, ganyan lang siya. Then, minus, copy lang naman yung numerator, which is x squared plus 1. Then, get the derivative of the denominator. So, using yung rule number 9, or yung radicals natin. So, get du over dx. So, what is the derivative of x minus 1? So, that is, derivative of x is 1, derivative of negative 1 is 0, kaya this is only 1. All over, so yung n, so n natin dito is 2. Then, the nth root, or since square root yan, square root. So, you copy yung u, which is x minus 1, then raise to n minus 1, that is 2 minus 1, or just simply raise to 1 lang siya. So, all over yung denominator, which is yung g of x natin, raised to 2. So, square of that. So, we have the square root of x minus 1. That would be squared. So, magka-cancel out lang. Yan. So, simplifying the equation, so we have ito, magiging 2x, the square root of x minus 1. So, minus x squared plus 1 all over 2 square root of x minus 1. So, I'll just multiply itong x squared plus 1 dito sa 1. Dito. So, kaya ganyan siya. So, this is all over x minus 1. So, meron pa tayong hindi siya masyadong simplified, pero derivative. Kung sa derivative na part, tapos na to. Pero sa algebra na part, hindi pa to tapos kasi hindi pa siya simplified. So, simplifying is to combine natin tong numerator. So, yung first term natin dito, meron siyang over 1 dyan. So, getting the LCD, that would be, ito, 2 square root of x minus 1 lang naman. Yan. So, this one multiplied by, ito, numerator na to. So, ito. Itong 2x square root of x minus 1. So, that is 2 times 2, that is 4x. So, ito, magmumultiply with this one, that is square root of x minus 1 raised to 2. So, magka-cancel out yung square root and raised to 2 natin. So, yung matitira would be x minus 1. So, minus, kasi minus to. So, yung numerator dyan na x squared plus 1. So this is over 2 square root of x minus 1. And this is all over x minus 1. So dito, meron siyang over 1. So magmumultiply itong outer natin, which is just simply copy lang yung numerator dito. At saka ito namang inner, magmumultiply din sila. So we have, so distribute na lang yan. So we have 4x squared minus 4x. So minus, nakalimutan ko yung parenthesis. Kasi pag di niya linagyan ng parenthesis yan, baka yung negative would be, ito lang yung pakakamultiplyan niya. So makakalimutan yung 1 dito. So minus x squared, so negative times positive, so minus 1. So this is all over x minus 1, the square root of x. Meron pa palang 2. So 2 x minus 1 multiplied by x minus 1. So simplifying furthermore, so we have 4x squared minus x, that is 3x squared minus 4x minus 1 all over 2x minus 2 multiplied by the square root of x minus 1. So again, this is already an acceptable answer, pero kung gusto nyo pang mas mas simplified, rationalization kayo na naman. So magmultiply kayo lang ng mga radicals natin dito. Pero etong answer na to would be acceptable na siya. Okay. So fourth example. So we have y is equal to 1 over x minus 2 raised to 3. So pwede natin gamitin yung chain rule dito. So chain rule at saka yung 8th rule natin, which is 1 over u raised to n. So let u be equal to ito, sa loob ng ating parenthesis, which is x minus 2. So yung du over dy natin, baliktad, dy over du over dx pala. So du over dx, so this would be getting the derivative of this one. So derivative of u with respect to x is na siya, du over dx. Derivative of x with respect to x, that is yung second rule natin kanina, that is the identity, dx over dx, that is equal to 1. Then derivative of a constant, that is equal to 0. Kaya yung sagot dito would be equal to 1. So yung y naman natin, kung isa-substitute natin yung x minus 2 equals u, so this will become y is equal to 1 over u raised to 3. So using rule number 8, so we have n to be 3, and this would be equal to dy. So derivative of y with respect to u, so that is dy over du. This is equal to the negative of n, which is negative 3 all over yung u natin. So 3 plus 1. So ito, n plus 1. So 3 plus 1 du over dx. But since our variable, yung dinederivative natin with respect to u siya, that would be du over du siya. Yan. So this is equal to 1. So identity rule lang. Yan. And this would be equal to negative 3 all over u raised to 4. So substituting yung u dito, which is x minus 2. So this will become negative 3 all over x minus 2 raised to 4. Then getting dy over dx. So from our chain rule, that would be dy over du multiplied by du over dx. So yung dy over du natin is ito siya. So we have negative 3 all over x minus 2 raised to 4. So, multiplied by yung du over dx. Saan na yung du over dx? Ito. So, that is equal to 1. So, multiplied by 1 lang natin yan. And, you will get dy over dx to be negative of 3 all over x minus 2, that is raised to 4. So, this could be your final answer. Pero kung gusto mo pang i-expand pa to, okay lang din naman. Pero medyo mahaba na siya. So, you can still use Pascal's triangle din at this point. Pero, this one could be your final answer. So, ganyan lang gamitin yung rule number 8 natin. Okay, so last example. We have example number 5. F of x is equal to cube root of x plus 3. So, one thing lang, reminder lang, makagamit nyo lang tong rule number 9 if yung exponent natin dito sa u is only 1. Kung greater than 1 na to, you will use yung power rule na lang. So, pwede rin naman kasing gamitin, kahit hindi nyo na i-memorize tong 8 and 9, you can use yung power rule. So, just manipulate lang yung equation. So, yung the way we derive yung mga formulas na ginamit dito. So, you can use yung power rule na lang kung ayaw nyong i-memorize tong 8 and 9 rule natin. So, yun ay dapat yung reminder natin. Yung exponent ng function u natin is only 1 para pwede nyong gamitin to. Pero pag more than that, you can use yung power rule. So, gawin nyo na lang exponent tong radicals natin. So, for our 5th example. So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. Ito yung pinaka-u, x plus 3. Meron siyang exponent na 1. Kung 2 na yan, medyo iba na yung parang rule nito. Kaya hindi natin magagamit yung rule number 9. So, you can use yung power rule for that. Pero, gamitin muna natin yung rule number 9. So, our n here is 3 kasi cube root siya. So, first, we have to get the derivative of the u. So, yung kanina sabi ko, u is equal to x plus 3. So, the derivative of x plus 3 with respect to x would be 1 kasi derivative of x is 1 and then derivative of 3 with respect to x is 0. So, this would be 1 all over. So, n, which is 3, then nth root, which is cube root of our u. Ano yung u? That is x plus 3. But we have n minus 1. Yung n natin is 3. So, 3 minus 1, that is equal to 2. So, ito na yung sagot for this example number 5. Pero using yung power rule, so, pwede nating so, ito yung sagot. Manipulating this equation, yung f of x natin magiging x plus 3 raised to 1/3 siya. Kung meron tayong square dyan, magiging 2/3 to. Kung 4 naman yung exponent, magiging 4/3. So, since 1 lang naman to nandito, so we have 1/3. So, getting the derivative using power rule, so we have to bring down yung 1/3. So, get the derivative, copy pala muna. So, we have copy x plus 3 raised to 1/3. Then, derivative, 1/3 minus 1 pala. So, get the derivative of this one. So, we have the derivative of x is 1. And then, the derivative of 3 is 0. So, 1 na lang yan. Then, 1/3 minus 3. 1/3 minus 3, that would be equal to negative 2/3. So, this would be equal to 1 over 3 multiplied by x plus 3 raised to negative 2/3. third. So, multiplied by 1 lang yan. So, since negative to, so, write that down sa numerator na part. So, we will have 3. So, this one would be x plus 3 raised to 2 third. So, that is 1. So, this is equal to, so, gawin nating radical ito. So, we have 1 over 3. So, we have cube root of x plus 3 raised to 2. So, they are the same with yung sagot natin dito. So, they are equal. So, pwede rin na power rule lang talaga yung i-memorize mo. Hindi na tong rule number 8 and rule number 9. So, that would be for our basic derivatives of algebraic functions.